And a reminder about our theoretical risk. We do not post trades and say this is how much we made on this. We never do. So we consider this to be a hypothetical educational room. Trade with risk capital that you can afford to lose. All right, those of you who are looking at the overnight range, okay, we're looking at the 456 back at 14 and a quarter, 50 back obviously over here at that where I had suggested would be our squeeze pivot, and that will remain so. This is going to be our gap area. Late gap close was 12, and then just below it, 60 back is going to be our gap. So if you can just in your head, you can almost figure out where you're going to be for your half gap targets just by looking at a chart like this. And we know that if you get back into that 14 to 1375 area, and below that's the good fortune part in a limited type of first swing, and then the trailers if you've got them, up to you. But this is a morning after trend day trade. And I'm not thinking big. I'm thinking it's going to take some time. We've been doing whack-a-mole already. These are higher highs, right, and higher lows. So that's a whack-a-mole pattern for now. And still coming into that 10-minute support chart. Got to break through these lines. Come down here. And I'm not putting a lot of faith in big hard move early today. Just not. So if you risk two and make two, doing good the first half hour today. Zeke, thank you for your post about the half gap. Looking at the 5-minute chart, you can see how we're trapped right now, green and red lines. This will tend to keep coming down and compressing towards us. And again, the first and most important thing you want to look at are these type of runs and figure out approximately where is the middle of those runs. You know, where are yesterday's price points that are important. You know, if you got a spreadsheet or you have a chart on with yesterday's ideas, then it's pretty easy to take a look at, say, a leg like this from yesterday. And Zeke and I had talked. Zeke said that this 18 and a quarter is going to be the middle of this leg. That's a great post, you know. Tells us where to expect the market to first stall. And you remember how these lows had just held and held and held, and they couldn't break. So that's why we said today, first time back, you've got to respect that if you're long. That's going to turn into resistance the first time, and then subsequent penetrations may wear it down. But very first time back, you've got to think, got to be paid for sure. Keep an eye on this chart too for you. And if you're in this stops down, obviously a big boy like coming backwards, but I still think that we have to be very conservative. That's just the way I am. You get to be that way. You get a little bit older. You want to survive. It's like me on the golf course. My mind is still there. I still think I can nail the ball, you know, down the middle. And, you know, for me, a good shot used to be 250. I can't do that. I used to hit the ball close to 300 at times, downhill, and wind at my back. Can't do that anymore. But you do what you can. And that's what I'm suggesting today. We do what we can. Today, if you miss this move, you're saying, come on, give me another one of those. Not going to happen. Be happy to if we can close the gap. Then gravy below it. Going to need a few rotations, I think. This is morning after trend day. The wind was blowing in this direction, and today we're looking to see, is it still blowing in that direction? And that was about a 1% move yesterday, so pretty good size move, and I'm thinking it's going to take time to wear down everything. So this range up here is our primary fighting range today. Support until broken, and then trying to backtrack and see just where we can retest that 18 to 22 zone. That's the primary. Beyond that, whoa, you did really good. And the rest of it, I'm thinking, will be backing and filling and testing support and so on. So mark this down in your notes. This is a shooting fish in a barrel day. Not so easy. Going to take several rotations. And my guess is don't trust any move to be a sustained move this IB. We take out the high here, expect that to fail too and come back. Take out the low here, expect that to fail and come back. Reduce your expectations is what I have suggested. Market is ahead of itself. All of these lines are very much ahead of ourselves. That's part of the problem. And then one of them will kick in and get a great trade. So the boys right now are trying to squeeze from that 1275, 12 and a half squeeze pivot I identified. Just like yesterday, they do not want shorts in position, so they're going to try to whack stops wherever they can and keep this thing moving. This is the nature of the beast. And that's where a chart like this comes in handy. I'm expecting some chop. Don't expect a lot of follow through in either side. And then later, maybe we'll get a solid trade. And if you're not comfortable with this type of trading, don't. Let a range set up. I like morning after trend day for nibbles short side. It's a preferred trade. You're going to get whacked a couple of times in one of them, you'll get a reasonably good trade. And there are times that I've done that and all of a sudden it's really whack-a-mole and you say, God, I should have just closed my eyes and bought because it was a flyer. But over time, the best odds is to try to hit these and just don't expect too much.